Yeah, we began the fall with high enrollment number at the university, so we were very pleased to see that students are continuing to enroll in large numbers at the university. We are studying some updates towards our architecture on campus, always trying to keep the university looking fresh and improvements on universities. And we have also seen the government invest a fair amount of money also into the university over the summer with some different announcements and programs that will be coming to the university. So we are hoping to enroll begin a mechanical engineering program actually at the university. It's in the final stages of getting approved right now. So we would hope that that program will begin for next fall. We also are introducing a nursing program to the university, expanding our nursing enrollment program fairly substantially. And we also looking at a program in neurological sciences that is going through the final stages for eventual approval by the university. So exciting times to see some new degrees come to the university and other programs that are also in the works. Yeah, in particular for undergrads, I mean, we work hard to make sure that students can work with the faculty members that are teaching them to get research opportunities. And we actually have a center for undergraduate research at the university. So we know that students can, if they're interested in research, can work directly with a center dedicated to students, hooking them up kind of with the faculty in their fields that they're interested in. We also encourage the students to try to attend maybe national conferences and present at some of the national conferences, and that's part of what the center would call it. CURSI is the acronym for it. Try to improve their educational experience by letting them go and present at national conferences. So that's why we're providing funding for them to be able to do that. And additionally, our faculty definitely are competing nationally and internationally for research opportunities and programs that are out there, from arts and science, business to engineering. So they're kind of keeping cutting edge by being able to present like that. Yeah, recently we actually saw almost 12% of UAlbany faculty recognized as the top 2% of researchers in the world. And this comes out to a number to be about 43 of our faculty and ended up getting in that on that list. And some of that is also driven by the research dollars that we see our faculty get involved in 2022, they had $119 million in research money. And then coming into 2025, we had 142 million. So a fairly big jump of increase in just a couple of years. And when I was looking at some of the areas, we see people, highly recognized in nanoscale science, nanotechnology, areas in our RNA research, and also there was an area in research related towards Alzheimer's disease that saw some of our faculty recognized in that top 2% worldwide for faculty. We're still finalizing our amounts that we would expect to award for this incoming class, but we would think that probably freshmen will compete for scholarships in the area of about 16,500 a year up to about 20,500. So we would see that bring the cost down substantially. The university, it remains committed to our Korean population, and I think the Korean won continues to be a little bit weak against the US dollar. So we try to offer as strong a scholarship as we can to try to subsidize the cost a little bit for Korean students. We absolutely haven't seen any opportunity to shrink yet. The fact that Korea and the US have a very close alliance probably will help Korean students even in some of the more sensitive areas of research that we would collaborate on closely. Even in areas like cybersecurity and homeland security, I would think that those opportunities would still be there for Korean students. And in the past, in the previous Trump administration, we also had concerns about some of the issues that could be out there. But I mean, we continued to see the 3-year STEM option in place. I heard President Trump a couple of weeks ago talking about the importance of international students and how he wanted to enroll more international students at U.S. universities. So we remain hopefully optimistic that we'll see those policies come into place over the next couple of years. I mean, I think one, we have to try to relax as much as possible. I mean, I've been working in international missions for 29 years, and we've seen different trends and crises come into place. And so I think we have to go, again, like I said earlier, optimistic to see what will happen. We know that people want to be careful of what they're posting on social media. So that if the U.S. visa officers are reviewing, that they're going to see things that are positive on students' social media accounts like that. Obviously, when students go for their visa interviews or work with groups like UA, you'll make sure that everything is in order, that there isn't any problems. As long as we can get visa appointments, I think that will be the biggest hurdle, and it seemed to have been kind of slow this fall coming with students from Korea, but hopefully we'll see that improved in the future. Again, I don't think it's an issue of visa denial as much as it is the actual availability. So I would say probably apply early to schools, get your decisions earlier so that you can try to get your visa appointments earlier, and again, work with UA and follow the rules kind of closely so you're definitely ready for your visa. I mean, definitely when we look at our new student orientation, we do a number of online orientation sessions first before students even arrive in the US, because we've looked at the studies that have shown that it's really too much for students to take in all of the orientation when they get to the US. So instead, then we offer a number of the sessions online, and students are able to access those. Some are live and some are recorded, but they can get those out of the way, have a chance to kind of absorb what they're being taught so that they don't have to do all of that when they get into the country. And we think that will allow them to adjust more easily to their time in the U.S. Our Office of International Student Services provides great services to the students, making sure that that they can get what they need. I also think students have to be able to take advantage of Korean student associations that may exist on campuses, so that way they're also working with existing students at the universities. So if they might help with airport pickup, even they may help students find apartments and things like that. So keep that in mind too, to be able to use Korean student associations. Yep. So nanoscale science and nanoscale science engineering, two massive programs at the university, like you're saying, in terms of funding, where when we look at the combined money that goes into the program together, both the research facility and the teaching facility, I mean, it's really into the billions when we start going back to look at how long the program has been established. I know a number of Korean chip manufacturers are involved with research on campus, which I think should be of interest to Korean students, because we know then that they can try to get internships, maybe, plan it out that way, so that they're doing internships with Korean companies tied into nanoscale science. It's also very interesting when we look at it. I mean, it is in essence semiconductor chip development, but also to look at the other pieces that are out there, like the medical components of using nanoscience and research to be able to check people out for illnesses and come up with cures using nano options. So those are, varied options that are there, but the hands-on research opportunity, I think when you visited campus, I mean, you took a look at the amazing clean rooms that they have that are there for the semiconductor, for the wafer chip development. They're also building another building connected to the Nano College. So the facilities just continue to improve all the time for students. So we know that it's cutting edge and that it should be able to attract students. Also worthwhile to note that there's a real shortage in the US of engineers and degree holders in nanoscale science and nano engineering. So we know that the students coming out of there are going to have the top selection for jobs immediately upon graduation. Obviously we want to try to continue to serve our students the best that we can. That's what you're always going to hear, but we are taking advantage of a lot of funding that we have in AI and artificial intelligence that is provided to the campus, spread across the disciplines. So we know that we're preparing students in the next year as the changes come about, and AI is making rapid changes to society, but we see that not only in the technology majors, but also in the non-STEM area also. We have students getting AI. I mean, even in areas like education and philosophy, we see students. So I think we remain to be as cutting edge as we can going ahead in the future, and also to assist students. Immigration needs and things like that are constantly changing. So we'll work closely with our students to make sure we keep them up to date there. We know that UA students have done well in the past. We know that we have a close relationship between the University of Albany and UA. And I think that that's what you want to be able to hear when you're ultimately selecting a group like UA to work with, is to know that they have a strong relationship with the university. I have my phone out here. We know that UA can probably reach us 24 hours a day if a student has any problem. And I think too, if they're trying to, to get questions as they're leading through the process, getting accepted, depositing visa and things like that. Again, the relationship is so strong between UA and U Albany that the student definitely benefits. But I think directly to UA students, keep working hard. Don't give up on your dreams. Sometimes there's some challenges that are out there, but again, we still saw a pretty fair number of Koreans enroll in fall 2025. We'll see more enroll in spring 2026 and fall 2026 also. So just work carefully with UA, and we'll help you achieve your dreams.